Hey there, welcome back. I hope you're getting a chance to get out and play some golf. The weather has been kind of weird where we've had some weeks where it's really nice during the week and then cold and rainy or even snowy on the weekend, which is most people's chance to play. So hopefully the weather has turned for the better and you're getting out and getting some rounds in. But this month, I want to dive into a nutrition topic that I've been approaching the subject of more with my junior golfers, and I'm starting to dive into it more with my adult golfers as well. And that's, what are you doing to keep food in your bag during the times that you play? If you got a 15-20 minute drive to the course and you give yourself an hour to hour and 15 minutes to kind of get catch up with your group and then get over to the range and chip and putt, and then you have a 4 to 4.5 hour round, or if you're playing in a 36 hole event or like a member guest where you know it's going to be long days, you need to kind of consider what you're keeping in your bag, because you and I both know that a hot dog at the turn, although it can taste delicious, is not your best choice, okay? And so, big idea I think I want you to take away from this is that you're trying to keep your blood sugar pretty stable. If you have a breakfast at 7:30 in the morning and your tea time's like at 10, let's call it, as you go throughout the day, your blood sugar is going to drop, okay? And then if you eat, your blood sugar will spike, and the pancreas responds by producing insulin to bring your blood sugar back down to like a normal state, okay? So you're trying to eat every 3 to 4 holes to keep your blood sugar stable. So a couple things to consider. Number one, I like beef jerky, and Oberto is a pretty good brand. Pacific Gold from Costco is another good brand. And then another one that's local from Chicago is called Prevail. But it's going to be packed with protein. It's going to have some salt in it, which is huge because when we sweat out potassium, sodium, magnesium, electrolytes, right? So you're trying to replace the salt. Next thing I like to look at is something that's got some fat in it, some fiber, and then some kind of, a little bit of carb. And so I usually keep some mixed nuts in my bag. These are just from Planters, but it's got cashews, almonds, and macadamias. And so 3 nuts that have some pretty good fats in it. And so, I'm putting a carb with a protein, and then again, once I get to 11, 12, 13, somewhere in the back 9, I'll usually grab something that, like an RX bar, and a lot of their bars have peanuts in it, so you got to be careful if you have a peanut allergy, or even on something like this if you have a peanut allergy. But, I'm trying to stabilize my blood sugar, and so whether it's beef jerky or not, you need something with protein. Whether it's mixed nuts like this or not, you need something with a carb and some healthy fat in it. And whether it's a bar like this or some kind of protein bar, it's just something else you can keep in your bag that's not going to melt. So if you've been taking protein bars at a golf course and they're lined with chocolate, that's going to melt. It's going to be a mess. Probably not going to want it. It's going to get all over your grips once it gets on your hands, right? So think about, what can you have in your bag for these longer days, these bigger stretches of time where you can avoid the hot dog at the turn with a Diet Coke or a Gatorade. I'm going to rant for 30 seconds. I am not a Gatorade fan, nor is my wife, who has a master's degree in nutrition, just because it's either made with high fructose corn syrup, it's going to be made with sucralose or fructose or glucose. Like all of those that end in OSE are just cheap or either fake sugars. So I usually tend to recommend either just water or Body Armor Light, L-Y-T-E, light, to my athletes, because it's going to have stevia or erythritol as the sweetener, which are plant-based, which means they're real, okay? So, again, big takeaway, you're trying to keep your blood sugar steady, that's number 1. Number 2, I would eat every 3 to 4 holes. And then number 3, liquids matter, okay? Because, again, you're trying to keep your electrolytes in balance. If that gets out of whack, it can be detrimental to your focus. And so, if you're doing your strength training, you're taking care of your nutrition, your body should perform like you want it to, which means you can put your focus directly on just the task at hand, which is either a pitch or a chip or putting the ball in the fairway, getting the ball in the green, or your lag putting, whatever's going on during the situation, okay, a bunker shot. And so just some ideas that I keep in my bag. They're not perfect, they're not the end all be all, it's not the answer, but you have to find out what works for you for food allergies, foods that you'll like during the round, foods that are going to stabilize your blood sugar. And then you can also consider, bananas. You're just going to have to eat them early. If they get hot and soggy, you're not going to want them. Apples, again, if they get hot and mushy, you're not going to want it. And I would stay away from berries, like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries. Once they warm up, they start to get on your hands, whether it's red from raspberries or strawberries, blue from blueberries or blackberries. You're just not going to want it, okay? And so that's what works for me. It keeps my bag light, especially if I'm taking a caddy. It's something that provides, stability for my blood sugar, and I actually like it.